Nick speaking, and welcome to this video. Right, here we are at long last. This is the video that I'm going to reveal my army list to you against my 3,000 point game with Wraithface. And I can't wait to play the game. Last time I played Ace, I had such a blast. It was fantastic. And I'm really looking forward to playing this game. I hope you're already pumped for the game. The battle report will be up on Saturday, so I can't wait for that to happen. This is my list. I have it here. I'm going to reveal it. I'm going to have a quick chat about how I came to this list and run through some of the tactics that I plan to use. Now, bearing in mind, when you're watching this video, I would have already played Ace. So anything that he sees here will be no surprise to him, because he would have already played the game. Okay, so the last time I played Ace, I got beat, and I was playing, in particular, the big game was with my Necrons, and I played my flayed ones. Now, you may have seen a video quite a while ago, just before the new Necron Codex came out, where I was talking about what to take. I was asking for your opinions, your advice, and at the time I was toying between taking the Pylon, Necron Pylon, and also the Transcendent Catan, which obviously was awesome. But I was toying about whether I should spend all those points on those big ones, or maybe I should hoard out with Necrons. I couldn't quite decide what to do, and then the Necron Codex hit and sort of made my decision for me, because the Transcendent Catan was no longer what it used to be, and I wasn't going to basically have that issue. So I have decided that this is my first 3,000 point game, my first big game really over 2,000 points for a long time. I think I played 2,500 points, but that was like 10 years ago. So I'm very excited, and I am definitely going to be using my Pylon. Now, I've never used the Pylon before. I think I've used it twice, and that was basically just as a piece of terrain. So really excited about using the Pylon. I've no idea if it's a good choice or not as a super heavy. It's got Skyfire, it's got 6 hull points, armor 14 all round, nice long range big blast template. It should be pretty good, but whether it's worth 420 points, I don't know, but we will find out. So I'm 100% using the Pylon just for those reasons that I can. So Pylon is in. And then it's what else to take. Well, as I've said in the previous Wraithface videos, I'm going to go with the flayed ones again, because I need some revenge, let's face it. And my 60 flayed ones that I've got have got a lot better. They now have that extra attack on the charge, and they have the shred special rule. Now, combining that with the Decorium, giving me the potential to have, well, not potential, but will have a 4+ RP roll. Very nice on those flayed ones. Yes, they are still initiative 2, but still. Now, I have played my 60 flayed one list at 2,000 points with the new Codex in the Decorium. It performed incredibly well. I was very happy to come up with this list. Now, I have to say, I have recently played a 2,000 point game with my Super Flanks list, which did incredibly well, to the point that I didn't lose a single model that my enemy killed. I did lose a unit, but that's only because I mishapped. So after that game, I have to be honest with you, I was questioning my flayed one list, thinking maybe I should take a Super Flanks. But I'm going to stick with the flayed one list because it's a very fun list. It's an assault Necron army list, basically. Very different, and like I said, I want to get some revenge. And I think it's going to be fun. So I'm trying to go for a mixture of my list for fun and also competitive. Now, I have no idea what Ace is going to bring to the table. I'm 90% sure he's going to bring Tyranids. Excuse me. But I don't 100% know. But I think it's going to be Tyranids, and as you can see, or as you've seen from his 20,000 point Tyranid army video, he's got a lot in it. Now last time he played, he did the Sky Blight formation, the flying thing. I have a funny feeling he won't have flying creatures this time. I think he's going to be podding out. I think we're going to have. I think I'm going to see the Swarm Lord in pods. But I don't know, and to be honest, this list that I've got here is not based around what Ace may or may not bring. This is a list that I've based on my 2,000 point list for the flayed ones, which works in a certain way. I've just expanded on it basically. So let's have a look at the list. So yes, the super heavy, I am using the pylon, and of course as standard, I'm using the Reclamation Legion with the auxiliary units of 60 flayed ones. So that's 3 units of 20 flayed ones. Now, that's nice, but we need stuff in the list that's going to keep up with them, because they are going to be infiltrating forward. Potentially, sometimes I do deep strike 1 unit, but primarily I will be infiltrating all 60 up front, and I'll need units to keep up with them. And also units that can work with the list, i.e. assault units. Now previously I had 2 units of Scarabs and a unit of Wraiths. That's before the new codex come out. Then the new codex come out, and I've been using obviously the Canoptic Harvest, because that's got those key units in. Now obviously, as you know, I've been doing my additional unit of Wraiths. So basically I've got 2 Canoptic Harvests in my list, which consist of 1 Spider, 7 Scarabs and 6 Wraiths with coils. Now I do have a Gloom Prism on one of my Spiders, just because I think it might be quite nice to have that anti-psychic thing because of what Tyranids are all about. Plus it was only 10 points and I had 10 points left over. Excuse me. So I've got those 2, and they're going to be going up front. I'm going to try my best to hide that Spider, because Ace knows exactly what he's doing on the table and he will be targeting that Spider for sure. So I'm going to try and hide the Spider, give RP to my Wraiths. I think I'm going to try and get first turn if I can. That will be the plan. I shall infiltrate those flayed ones forward. The Scarabs, the Wraiths, they can all move 12 inches, so I can be right in his face. Turn 1. Having said that, if he's got pods, obviously he's going to be podding in, so I will need to play how I need to play on the day, but primarily that is the plan for that massive blob. That's 60 flayed ones, all the Wraiths, all the Scarabs, and then the Spiders backing up, giving me as many Spiders as I can, Scarabs as I can. Okay, obviously we've got to fill the Reclamation Legion to give us the Decorium, so that I can get that 4+ RP roll. Not only that, Relentless, which is actually really useful on warriors. So Relentless, don't underestimate that. Move through cover, again that is really useful, especially if you're scrabbling for an objective at the end of the game and you've got to go through terrain. Nothing worse than it's turn 5, you need to move 5 inches, you roll 3 inches. You're out of range, game ends. Okay, so we are starting off with 40 warriors. Now, the reason why I've gone for 40 warriors is because I want to keep that sort of horde type theme, and I also want to have as much Gaul's weapons as I can. So if he does have his monstrous creatures, they're really useful for taking out those. Now I have shied away from Ghost Arcs and also Night Scythes, and the reason for that is that they just soak up a lot of points and it doesn't really fit with the theme of the list. Yes, I've got the Necron pylon in, but traditionally my flayed one list has no vehicles and I want to sort of stick with that. I do have the Immortals, of course, 8 Immortals in this list. They're all with Gaul's weapons, of course. Gaul's fantastic now. And then 5 Tomb Blades. Now my Tomb Blades also have the Gaul's Blasters. I've got the Looms and the Veins on there as well. Only 105 points. Nice little distraction unit. It's got the Gaul's weaponry as well, so that's quite useful. Now it doesn't really leave me many points left over for my HQ. Previously I was using Imatech in the list. He's out of the list now. I've been using a basic Overlord. I've upgraded the Overlord to Trazin, if that's how you pronounce it. But I've upgraded to him mainly because he has that ability to, if he gets killed, to remove another model and basically take its place. So it could be really good for stopping Slay the Warlord. And if I do happen to get his Immortal unit, which he will be joined to in close combat with Ace, then I've got the chance of actually getting that HQ out of trouble. And that's the list. That's exactly 3,000 points. So the way it will work, as I said, I've got the upfront 60 flayed ones, the 2 squads of Scarabs, the Wraiths, they'll all be up front. Behind there will be the 40 warriors. The Immortals will be in the middle with the Lord, and the warriors will be around them to help protect them. The Tomb Blades will just do what they need to do. They'll zoom off down the side of the table. I do like to flank them. They normally die without doing any damage, but they're good distraction units, and potentially if I wanted to, I could hold them back for a line breaker, or even, if you should happen to deep strike in with those pods, I could hold them back a little bit for an extra distraction at the back. So lots of options with the Tomb Blades. The Tomb Blades are almost a throwaway unit, as long as I don't give up first blood with them, which you shouldn't do. You've got Jinx save, and you've got the stealth, etc. So they're normally pretty survivable at the beginning of the game. And of course they have RP because of the Reclamation Legion. It's a 4+ RP roll, so you've got 3+ save, your 4+ RP roll, you've got your Jinx save, whatever you need to take, it's there. And that, as I said, is basically it. The pylon's going to be there. I'm not quite sure exactly what it's going to do, but it's going to be fun. And as I said, I'm hoping that the list is competitive and that I'd give Ace a good game, potentially even win. But I also want the list to be fun. So I think it's got an element of cheese, with obviously the Harvests in there and the Reclamation Legion, a Decorium. But it's also got an element of fun with those 60 flayed ones there. I think it will be totally different from anything that Ace has ever played. I'm not sure if he's played the new Necron Codex yet. So I'm not sure how much an advantage I'll have in terms of the current rule set. If there's any surprises that I've got in this list for Ace, I don't know. But ultimately, I think it's going to be a really fun game. Okay, so that is the list. I've had great fun debating the list, working out what to do. It's been a couple of months of me actually working on this list before and after the new codex came out, but I'm happy with what I've got until I played that last game with the Super Flanks, which the Super Flanks is awesome, by the way. It's fantastic. The Ghost Arcs with that big squad of warriors with the 4+ RP, anything that dies that comes back from the Ghost Arcs, tremendous list. I'm looking forward to tweaking that to get it as optimal as I can. And it's quite interesting because it works totally different, because the Canoptic Harvest actually works a little bit more defensively than aggressively in that list, because your Super Flanks is the aggressive part. The Super Flanks goes out, and that's the stuff that attracts the attention. That's the stuff you want people to shoot at. You don't want them shooting at your Wraiths or your Scarabs. They hold back. And in actual fact, I use the Scarabs and the Tomb Spider to take my objective at the back. Holding back the Wraiths, you've got the Monolith there, you hide them behind the Monolith just so they can't get targeted. And then when the time's right, you move the Wraiths out. In the meantime, the Super Flanks is there, taking as many wounds as you can give them, and just keep coming back. It's fantastic. And I must admit, that did make me think about my Flayed One list for Ace. But I'm thinking back to the game that I played with my Flayed One list, and it was also awesome. Not only was it awesome, it was a lot of fun. More fun than the Super Flanks, to be fair. So I'm really looking forward to it. Okay, so that is it. Hopefully you enjoyed this video, this little chat. Don't forget to check out Wraithface's channel. I should put a link in the description below. Really worth checking out. You can go in and see some of the old battle reports where he played me. You can see his army, he's got it on display there. Not 7, that's my army, 7,000 points. Over 20,000 points of Tyranids, all painted up. Go and check that video out. Give him a sub and watch out for the battle report of our game on his channel. I'll be doing my reports and Ace will be doing his. Okay, that's it from me. Thanks for watching.